Well, we weren't raised this way. But despite that, we were raised to appreciate innovative and intelligent thinking. As a result, I became a fan of great thinkers, inventors, scientists, writers, philosophers, and statesmen. And when you expose yourself to their ideas, you start to see a running theme. You see reasonably intelligent people coming to reasonably intelligent conclusions about the world they live in. That by itself is hard to ignore.
We are to admit no more causes of natural things than such as are both true and sufficient to explain their appearances. Therefore, to the same natural effects we must, so far as possible, assign the same causes. Isaac Newton.
It's not easy. It's much easier to just accept what you've been told growing up and go on with your life. Questioning commonly held beliefs of the majority of the world, that's not easy. It ends up being an exercise in critical thinking because you can't simply abandon one unquestioned belief system and sign up for another. Once you begin to be critical, you have to be critical of everything else. Science, faith, art, celebrity. If I can't accept at face value that God exists without first evaluating it according to my own criteria, then I can't accept that a medical procedure is safe simply because some doctor says so. Nor can I accept that Casablanca is a work of significance simply because most people think so. I had to see the science, watch the movie, read opinions, and weigh the evidence. It's hard work, but it's worth it.
I never told my religion, nor scrutinized that of another. I never attempted to make a convert, nor wished to change another's creed. I have judged others' religions by their lives, for it is from our lives and not our words that our religions must be read. Thomas Jefferson.
Inevitably, someone will ask how we are able to raise children this way.
Frankly, that's the most important part of all this. I don't have any illusions about being able to sway people of other beliefs away from them. I don't even try. Again, it's part of being tolerant.
But real change occurs with each generation. If we can raise children who already start with the philosophies we've worked so hard to incorporate into our lives, they might help create a better world based on those beliefs.
We don't ignore the subject of religion. It's a social reality, and not bad in and of itself.
It's not that anyone expects religion to go away. We just don't want people to be judged by it, oppressed in the name of it,
or discriminated against because of it.
The first and simplest emotion which we discover in the human mind is curiosity. Edmund Burke.
I've been asked, how do you teach children about right and wrong without the fear of God? In my mind, fear of God, fear of police, fear of consequences of any kind only serve to keep people in line while they think someone is watching. As soon as they think no one is, they lose any sense of what's right and wrong. How much better would the world be if people did things simply because they knew it was the right thing to do? We try to teach our kids that things are right or wrong independent of someone else's authority. It's exactly this kind of thinking that spawned such great things as the Declaration of Independence and civil rights. We have these things because someone stepped up and said, it's the right thing to do, sometimes in spite of undeserved consequences.
If something is in me which could be called religious, then it is the unbounded admiration for the structure of the world so far as our science can reveal it. Albert Einstein.
I'm a scientist, as well as someone who likes being outdoors. The more we learn about our world, the more obvious it is to me that one needs to be objective and not swayed by opinion.
The scientific process is very methodical, and while not always conclusive, there is no reason to throw out the possibilities it suggests, simply because you don't like what it suggests. Adaptation has proven to be the single most useful trait an organism can have.
And it's largely responsible for our own species' success. You can't disregard knowledge because it disrupts your view of the world. You have to adapt.
To discriminate against a thoroughly upright citizen because he belongs to some particular church, or because, like Abraham Lincoln, he has not avowed his allegiance to any church, is an outrage against that liberty of conscience, which is one of the foundations of American life. Teddy Roosevelt.
I think most importantly, we believe in being a good person. That means being tolerant of others. We have friends of all religious persuasions, Christian, pagan, atheist, Buddhist, you name it.
We try to be very careful not to judge them based on these beliefs. In our minds, whatever drives them to being a good person is okay with us.
But we expect similar treatment. We don't believe in gods, afterlife, or religious dogma. We have this one life in a wonderful world, And we believe any and all reward for our actions will be found here, in this life. Now, we're not without beliefs. I believe in a lot of things. I believe in education. I believe in the power of people. I believe in Bugs Bunny and that it has entertainment value for adults. But what I don't believe is that others have to subscribe to my beliefs.
I'm an atheist, and that's it. I believe there's nothing we can know except that we should be kind to each other and do what we can for each other. Katharine Hepburn.
Mostly, we hope that we get to live in a world that is free from fear-driven coercion. A world where people are free to employ all their faculties to find the answers they are looking for, free from shame and embarrassment. We hope that our children get to live in a society that supports scrutiny and celebrates truth and individuality.
Because religious belief, or non-belief, is such an important part of every person's life, freedom of religion affects every individual. Religious institutions that use government power in support of themselves and force their views on persons of other faiths or of no faith undermine all our civil rights. Erecting the wall of separation between church and state, therefore, is absolutely essential in a free society. And we have experienced the quiet as well as the comfort which results from leaving everyone to profess freely and openly those principles of religion which are the inductions of his own reason and the serious convictions of his own inquiries. Thomas Jefferson.
Isn't it enough to see that a garden is beautiful
The more certain
without
it seems
having
to
to
me
believe
the
that there
path
are
to
fairies at the
genuine
bottom of it too?
religiosity does not lie through the fear
Douglas
of life and the
Adams.
fear of death and blind faith, but through striving after rational knowledge.
We are to admit
Albert
no
Einstein.
more causes of natural things than such as are both true and sufficient to explain
Maybe
our
the
appearances.
woods were simply filled with
Therefore,
birds.
to the same natural
I
effects we
reckon
must,
listening
so far as
closely to
possible,
birds is what a person
assign the
should
same
do.
causes.
Once one
Isaac
begins
Newton.
to find any god, then he is no longer listening to the birds.
Religious controversies are always
Sam
productive
Pickering,
of more
on whether
acrimony
the sound
and
of birds in a
irreconcilable
poem
hatreds
represented
than
the
those
voice
which
of
spring
God.
from any other cause. I had hoped that liberal and enlightened thought would
I
have
never told
reconciled
my
the
religion,
Christians so
nor
that their religious
scrutinized that of
fights
another.
would not endanger
I never
the peace
attempted
of
to make
society.
a convert, nor wish to change
George
another's
Washington.
creed. I have judged others' religions by their lives, for it is from our lives, and
If
not our
something is in me
words,
which
that
can
our
be called
religions
religious,
must be read.
then it is the unbounded admiration for the structure of the world so far
To
as our
discriminate
science
against
can
a
reveal
thoroughly
it.
upright citizen
Albert
because he
Einstein.
belongs to some
I'm an
particular
atheist, and
church,
that's
or
it.
because,
I
like
believe
Abraham
there's nothing
Lincoln,
we can know
he has not
except
avowed
that
his
we should be
allegiance to any
kind to
church,
each other and
is
do
an
what we can
outrage
for each
against
other.
that liberty of conscience
Katharine
which is
Hepburn.
one of the foundations of American life.